It's 11 at night, and you're scrolling your own phone. 5 AI subscriptions on it. The only one you've opened all week is the chatbot, and up in your feed, a thumbnail swears these tools will make you a fortune. Here's the honest version instead. I went through more than 500, and almost all of it is noise. The few that matter all pass the same 3 questions. That's the whole video. 3 questions, 7 tools that pass them, and the famous ones I'd ignore. No links to buy, just a way to choose. The 3 questions. Here's the strange part. Around 68% of small businesses say they use AI now, up from roughly half a year or so earlier, and yet most of them are winging it, with no real system behind any of it. The typical one is paying for about 5 different tools. Most of those sit untouched, like a gym membership that quietly bills you every month. So the problem was never that you don't have enough tools. The real question is which task each tool actually changes for you. That's the whole test, and it's 3 questions. 1, does this change a task you already do every single week, not one you imagine doing someday? 2, can you trust what it gives you without rechecking every single word? If you can't, it's a rough draft machine, and you should price it like one. 3, does it pay you back in time saved this month? Not in hype? Run any tool through those 3 before you ever type in a card number. Honestly, most of the 500 die on question 1, and the few that survive tend to earn the time back within 30 to 60 days, but only if you actually use them daily. Keep that test in your head. We're about to run 7 tools straight through it. Think and draft. Picture the email you've been avoiding since lunch. The one to the client where the wording has to land just right. You paste your clumsy first attempt into a chatbot, and a clean version comes back before your coffee's gone cold. You read it once, change 1 line so it still sounds like you, and you hit send. Done. That tiny moment is why a general assistant, something like ChatGPT or Claude, is the one tool almost everyone actually keeps. The paid tier runs about $20 a month, and the free version already does more than most people use. On question 1, it passes instantly, because writing, summarizing, and thinking out loud are things you already do every day. But question 2 is where you have to stay awake. It will hand you a confident paragraph that is quietly wrong, in the exact same calm voice it uses when it's right. So treat it like a sharp intern, not an oracle. Brilliant for the first draft, never the last word on a fact you can't afford to get wrong. Claude tends to lean a little stronger on long writing and code. ChatGPT leans more general, with the smoother everyday feel. Pick one and genuinely live in it for 2 weeks before you decide anything. The real mistake is collecting 3 of them and getting good at none. Here's how I'd read this tool. If you keep only one thing off this whole list, keep this and learn to brief it the way you'd brief a new hire. Give it the context, the goal, and the limits you're working inside. Do that, and it stops sounding like a robot and starts sounding useful. Automate the boring. Now think about the dull little chore you do every week on autopilot. Saving an attachment, renaming it, dropping it in the right folder, then messaging someone to say it's there. 4 tiny steps 50 times a month, none of them worth a single minute of your actual attention. That's the exact work an automation tool like Zapier or Make is built to quietly swallow. You connect 2 apps, set one trigger, and the chain runs itself while you do something that matters. The free tier hands you around 100 automated tasks a month, which is plenty to find out if it earns its keep. After that, the paid plan starts near $20. On question 1, it can pass hard because the steps it deletes are ones you genuinely repeat. The catch is hiding in question 3. Building a clean automation takes real setup time up front, and a flow thrown together in a hurry will snap the moment an app moves a button. So start with 1 annoyance, not 10. Automate the single task you complain about most, watch it run untouched for a week, and only then build the next one. A good automation is invisible, like the plumbing in your walls. You forget it's even there until the morning it quietly saves you an hour you didn't know you were bleeding. If you can't name the exact repetitive task before you open the tool, you're not ready for it yet. Win once, then expand. Turn talk into text. Maybe you're thinking that typing is fine. You've done it your whole life. Fair. But watch what happens the first time you say a messy idea out loud, and a tool types it up clean for you. You pace around the kitchen, you ramble for 2 minutes about the thing you've been stuck on, and the words are simply waiting for you when you stop. Voice-to-text tools in the Whisper family do exactly this. and most people can talk a good deal faster than they can type. They also quietly strip out the ums and the false starts, so the page doesn't read like a transcript of you panicking. Question 1. Easy yes for anyone who writes, brainstorms, or fires off a pile of messages in a day. Question 2 is gentle because you are the source of the words, though it still trips over heavy accents and the kind of unusual names only your own industry ever uses. So keep half an eye on the proper nouns before you send anything that matters. The funny thing is that what it really changes isn't your speed. It's that you finally catch the good idea you used to lose somewhere between the shower and your desk. Talk first, tidy second. For a lot of people, that one small switch unlocks more finished writing than any fancy new model ever did. Your stuff memory. This next one fixes a problem you probably never gave a name. Every ordinary chatbot forgets your entire business the second you close the tab. So you explain yourself over again every time, like greeting the same forgetful goldfish each morning. A tool like NotebookLM kills that by answering only from documents you hand it. You load in your pricing, your past proposals, your scattered notes, your guidelines, and it answers from those, not from the wide open internet. Because it's tied to your own sources, it invents things far less often than a normal chatbot does. The free tier holds around 50 sources in a notebook and roughly 50 questions a day, which is more than one business usually needs. If you outgrow it, the next step up is about $8 a month. If you are slowly drowning in your own documents, question 1 is a yes before you even finish asking it. Question 2 is where this one really earns its place because every answer it gives points straight back to a specific source you can open and check with your own eyes, which happens to be the exact habit most chatbots quietly train you out of. The honest limit is almost funny in how simple it is. It's only ever as sharp as what you feed it. So a graveyard of half-finished docs gives you half-finished answers. Load it once properly on a quiet afternoon, then stop re-explaining your own business for the rest of the year. Meetings without note-taking. Picture the last few seconds of a call that genuinely mattered. Normally, you'd be only half listening because the other half of your head was busy typing notes you'll never reread. This time you just talked, the call ended, and you lean back with your hands off the keyboard for once. The notes are already sitting there, cleaned up and sorted. That's what a tool like Granola does. And the clever part is the thing it refuses to do. It doesn't march a little robot into your meeting to announce itself and make the whole room go stiff. It just runs quietly in the background instead. The free plan covers unlimited summaries and about a month of history, and the team tier sits near $14 a person. Sit through more than a couple of real meetings a week and question 1 answers itself. But question 2 arrives with a caveat you do not get to skip. It is still recording a private conversation, even with no visible bot in the room. So you say it out loud right at the top. Something plain like, "Just so you both know, I've got this recording." That single sentence keeps you honest, and it keeps you on the right side of the law. Skip the busy work, never the consent. Look professional. There's a stubborn myth that looking professional means hiring a designer or wrestling with hard software. For most of what a small operator actually needs, that simply isn't true anymore. A design tool in the Canva family lets you build a clean logo, a tidy thumbnail, a social post that doesn't look slapped together in minutes. It runs somewhere around $12 to $15 a month for the paid tier, and the free one is honestly usable on its own. On question 1, it passes if you put anything at all in front of customers, which quietly means everyone. Question 2 is friendly, because you see the result with your own eyes before a single other person does. The real limit here isn't the tool, it's taste. It will cheerfully let you make something loud and ugly at remarkable speed. So borrow a layout that already works instead of inventing one from scratch and keep the whole thing simple. The goal was never to look like a glossy design agency. It's just to stop looking like a spreadsheet wearing a party hat. Good enough and consistent beats fancy and rare every single time. And consistency is the part most people quietly underrate, because a brand that looks the same across your site, your thumbnails, and the invoices you send is doing something subtle. Telling a stranger you will probably still be around next year, which turns out to be half the reason anyone decides to trust a small operator at all. That's real leverage. You can rent it for the price of a couple of coffees a month. The one to be careful with. Now the one I'd only hand you with a warning label taped to it, the build tools, the ones that promise a finished app out of a single sentence. The pitch is intoxicating, and honestly, the demo is jaw-dropping. You describe a little tool you want, and you watch it assemble itself in front of you like a magic trick. Then you click it, you feed it one real input, and it throws a red error clean across the screen. You try again, it cracks somewhere new, and the magic slowly turns into an unpaid part-time job. This is the gap that never makes it into the thumbnail. A demo is a tool on its very best behavior, and your ordinary Tuesday is the real test. On question 1, it can pass if you truly have a small thing to build and the patience to debug it. On question 2, be brutally honest with yourself, because it won't be reliable straight out of the box, and you will be the one cleaning up what it got wrong. I'm not telling you to avoid it. I'm telling you to walk in with your eyes wide open, build something tiny first, and treat the errors as the cost of entry rather than a betrayal. For most people watching this one is a weekend experiment, not a Monday workhorse. Just know exactly which of the two you're signing up for. What to ignore. Here's the part the other videos leave out completely. The list of things to ignore, at least for right now. First, the shiny dream of autonomous agents that supposedly run your whole business while you sleep. On stage, the agent books the meeting, clears the inbox, closes the loop, all of it flawless. In your actual inbox that same week, it quietly does nothing, or worse, it does the wrong thing with total confidence. And this isn't me just being a cynic. In one 2026 analysis, roughly 88% of autonomous agent projects never even made it into real production. The research group Gartner has projected that more than 40% of agentic AI projects will be canceled by 2027. The technology is maturing, not worthless, but it is plainly not a digital employee yet, so don't bet your month on one. Second, stop chasing the newest, smartest model the very day it lands. The newest model is almost never your best tool. Your best tool is the boring one you'll actually open every single morning. Third, and this is the big one, stop collecting. Every tool you sign up for and never open is a slow leak in your attention and a quiet drip from your wallet. The whole game here is subtraction, not addition. For most viewers, the takeaway is that ignoring the right things is exactly what gives your few good tools the room to finally work. So go back to that phone from the very start of this. 5 subscriptions, 1 you ever really opened. Tonight you could close 4 of those tabs and keep the single one that changes a task you do every week. That isn't falling behind. That's the entire skill. The hype will keep on coming louder every month, each time with some new tool that supposedly ends all the others. Run it through the 3 questions anyway. Does it change something you already do? Can you trust what it gives back? Does it pay you in time? If it can't answer those 3, let it scroll right on past you. You don't need 500 AI tools. You need the one that quietly makes your Tuesday lighter. And now, you've got a way to find it.